Warm greetings and welcome to this App Connect tutorial. Today you will organize a simple flows mashup by calling one App Connect flow from another. Your scenario will start by lead creation in Salesforce. This process will trigger an event-driven flow, which will call flow for an API, where you will invoke third-party web service to generate random user details, and at the end update lead in Salesforce with additional information. At first, open your App Connect dashboard and create a new flow for an API. Call it Get Details and add a new details module. Add properties such as email, phone, cell, street, city, state, country, and postcode. Set postcode type to number. Create another model called user and add name as the only parameter. Switch to Operations tab inside Details module and create a custom operation. Set the display and operation name to get, HTTP verb to post, request body to user model, and response to details. Then click on Implement Flow button. Add HTTP application to the flow. This one will be used to call a random user me web service using get method. Such service will supply us with generated user details. Click on plus button and add JSON parser to the flow from Toolbox tab. You will need it to parse a response from web service. This step is required to enable further data mapping. Map response body from HTTP invoke to JSON input. Parser helps you to generate a schema from JSON sample, so copy and navigate to web service URL to get a sample reply. Copy provided data and paste it to the example JSON text area. Click on Generate button. Switch to Response and map parsed user details to response body fields. You will also need to enter country name manually, as a web service doesn't provide such information. After finishing this task, you can close the flow implementation by clicking on Done button. Go to Manage tab. Now you will create two API keys that will be required to invoke the flow. First, create a key to enable sharing within Cloud Foundry organization. You can call it private. Copy the key value and enable toggle to include API in organization level shared APIs view. This setting will help to discover an API within the organization. Then, create a key to use API outside the Cloud Foundry organization. In this scenario, you will use API portal to test the flow. Start the flow and open the portal by clicking on the link at the bottom of the page. Click Try It link, generate sample body data, and invoke the details get operation. Verify that you got a sample user information in response. Go back to IBM App Connect dashboard and switch to the catalog page. Now on APIs tab, you should be able to see shared API. Connect to it using the API key that you have previously copied. Then connect to Salesforce from Applications tab. You will need to provide your Salesforce account credentials and grant access. Now you can create an event-driven flow from the dashboard. Provide a name for it, such as new lead update. Set Salesforce new lead as a flow trigger. Then add get details from the APIs tab and map the full name from the Salesforce new lead to name input parameter. Finally, add Salesforce application to the flow again, this time by selecting Update or Create Lead operation. You will need to match lead ID from the initial input as a search filter to ensure that existing flow will be updated instead of creation of a new one. Click on Auto Match Fields button to populate existing fields and map additional user information from the flow for an API into relevant fields. Make sure to clean up the email bounced reason and email bounced data fields, as those may cause an error while trying to update lead which has the open status. Now you can exit and switch on the flow. It is time to test how your flow mashup works. Open new browser tab and log into Salesforce. Switch to Marketing Application. Create a new lead from Leads tab. You will need to fill a first name, last name, and company name fields. Save new lead and navigate back to Leads tab. To validate flow execution, you can go back to App Connect dashboard and open Flow for an API Manage tab. You should be able to see two logged requests, one test from API portal, and the recent call from event-driven flow. To verify the result, switch back to Salesforce and open the Lead Details tab. Now you should be able to see supplied location and contact information. That was it. Congratulations on successful flow mashup.